from exotic Doncaster. It took him about 6 hours to get here today. About 6 hours going back tomorrow. So it's not only an absolute pleasure for him to be here tonight, it's also a bit of an inconvenience, to be honest with you. But he likes coming down here, that's the main thing, you know, because that's the thing. I think people in the north of England and the Welsh people, there's a kind of an affinity, isn't it? You know, I think. I'm really not sure about that either. It's true though, isn't it? You know, because when people are pissed up north, you know, the more they have to drink, the less reliant they become on the English language. They just communicate like the Welsh with vowels, don't they? They have like a vowel movement. They come out the pub, you see them like that. Hey, 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 you, I owe you, me and I owe you, hey. This thing about Welsh people, you never know when they're pissed. The stuff you hear in Wales when people have had a drink, I can never get my head around it. People say things like, you want a cup of tea? A cup of tea? A cup of tea? Only if you're making one. How else are you going to have when you're married? Do you know what I mean? Sometimes you can't even get a straight answer. Cup of tea? Oh. I wouldn't say no. I'll say yes then. You know, it's not what sense. Then it gets controversial, doesn't it? Tea or coffee? Whatever's easier. Well, you make it then. That's the easiest. Turning round. When did this start? Everybody in Wales is turning round these days. When did this start? Turning round. She turned round and said that. I couldn't believe it. I thought, I'm not having that, so I turned round and said this. I went to see the bank manager, he turned round and he said, we're not giving out loans. Then he turned round and he said, you can have a loan, you can. You must have gone like that, you can have a loan. I thought, one good turn deserves another. I said, thank you very much. Oh, Welsh people are crazy. Welsh people don't trust you either, I've noticed this. Even with the time. Nobody asks you for the time anymore in Wales. You've obviously had a bad experience with the time at some point in history. Because now when people ask you, they only want the right time. Someone come up to me and say, David Stu, excuse me, have you got the right time? I said, no, I got the crazy time. You got something else. Just let me get the balls in Mickey's ear. Time for my medicine. There we are. Different logic, I think it is in Wales, isn't it? Yeah. That's my favourite one. You going on holiday? I love that. People say, you going on holiday? Yes, I am. Anywhere nice? No, to be fair. We went somewhere nice the year before last. And it really wasn't for me. So I think we thought we'd go somewhere crap this year. But I was chuffed to come out, you know, tonight, and I was pleased to see other people wanted to come out. That was a big relief. I mean, I've never seen so many people in church. It's great. It's because I was brought up a Catholic, so this kind of brings back all sorts of memories. I went to a Catholic school and church, Our Lady of Perpetual Suffering and Damnation. Oh, I've got A-level guilt and everything. Anyway, we were bullied. I don't know if we got any other left footers in the room. I was bullied terrible in school. A nightmare it was. They used to come in, the bullies, right? Stick your head down the toilet. Remember that? And pull the flush while you were down there. Sometimes they would even have a wee. I swear to God. And then they waltz into the classrooms and teach. Still, that's another souvenir, I suppose. No, we were bullied in school. The bullies were a nightmare. Now we had this one kid, Craig Smithers, I'll never forget him. He looked like the school bully. You know, had a big pock-marked face. You could throw a bag of Maltesers in his face. Not one of them would hit the ground. He looked like the school bully. And he was always giving you the verbals, getting stuck in. He was an absolute nightmare, you know. And I told my dad, I said he's calling names all the time. And my dad said, hey, he said you don't want to worry about that. He said sticks and stones will break your bones, he said, but names will never hurt you. And I thought, he's right, you know. It's like a light bulb went off in my eye. I couldn't wait for this bully to come back. And when I fronted up to him, I squared up. And I said to him, I said, sticks and stones will break my bones, I said, but names will never hurt me. And it was like, I watched as a realisation dawned in this bully's eye. He turned and he just walked away. And he went and got a stick. And he used that stick to put me in hospital. And I remember coming round, my dad was by the side of the bed. He said, always remember. I said, you can stick your sayings up your ass, man. You never trusted that. Some of the things he said. He said, you know, I told him I wanted to be a comedian. And he said, if you can go out on stage, he said, if you can go out on stage and make just one person laugh, he said, you shit. And, you'll have to find something else to do. But parents were harsher then, weren't they? Remember when we were growing up, there wasn't all this, was it? It was different. It was different. You know, my mother, she was a hard woman. I remember she turned to me one day. She said, always remember, one woman's trash is another woman's treasure. And I think with hindsight, she probably could have found a nicer way to tell me I was adopted. But anyway, I got on with that, you know. Remember those were the days when you were allowed to smack your kids, remember that? It never did us any harm, did it? You could smack kids, you were encouraged to beat your kids back then. You know, if you were being naughty in a public place and people saw you being naughty, other people would join in with the beating. You'd hold you, get him in a headlock, you are, have a go at him, there we are, yeah. My mother, if I was cheeking her in a public place, if she was having a conversation in quick save and I was giving her the verbals in the back, she wouldn't even break eye contact with the person she was talking to. She would just give me a Chuck Norris right in the windpipe. They knew where to hit you, mums, didn't they? You'd be crying, but there'd be no noise coming out. They knew. I was like that. I was like Yoda off Star Wars, you know. Broken my neck is. But then all that changed, didn't it, with Childline. Remember Childline? Remember that came in? Well, all the programmes we used to watch years ago, they were mad, weren't they? Even the kids' programmes were a bit strange. Remember Rainbow? How weird was that? You had to be stoned to watch Rainbow, didn't you? Because Bungle from Rainbow, he used to walk round bollock naked all day long and then put on pyjamas to go to bed. How did that work? And play school, no wonder we got a violent culture with the kids. Which window do you want to go through? There was no need for that.